Evening VC, Dave here. So this is going to be an entry in the Blue Note 1500 series project that Stephen over in the Bass Clef started. And I'm sure you can check out the playlist on his channel. I have the honor of presenting these two records, Art Blakey, A Night at Birdland, Volumes 1 and Volumes 2, so Blue Note 1521 and Blue Note 1522. This was an amazing live performance recorded by Rudy Van Gelder in February of 1954. It was not released until July of that summer on 10-inch with a different cover, obviously. It came out on 12-inch in 1956. Blue Note released it then and had different artwork on the cover again, and so this is basically the third incarnation of it. I have a mono pressing of Volume 1, an audiophile DMM press. It sounds fantastic. I found this at Record Archive in Rochester. I was looking for anything involving Clifford Brown at the time, years ago, and was very, very excited to find this in the used bins there. And that was that one. And then I ended up picking up, of course I had to get Volume 2, but I ended up finding a stereo copy of that, 70s White Bee pressing, I think from Carolina Soul. So that's what I have. And the lineup that Art Blakey put together is just one of his best. Of course, Clifford on the trumpet, Lou Donaldson on alto, Horace Silver piano, Curly Russell on bass, and Art on the kit. A little about Birdland. Of course, you had the great Pee Wee Marquette that opens the affairs there, and yeah, he really kicks this one off beautifully. Art Blakey, ladies and gentlemen. And yeah, so 1949, I believe, is when the original Birdland opened, and it closed in 1965. I think there was one-off performance in the late 70s for some reason, and then I think it reopened in 85 or 86, uptown. Much further up Broadway, I think around 105th. And then the third location, they moved back towards Midtown, West 44th Street. And I've been to that Birdland. But these records, yeah. So Volume 1, it starts off with a split kick. And they kick into a swinging tune with the horns in unison here, but you just get some serious soloing from Clifford Brown. He puts his foot down right away. You can tell it's going to be his night, and fantastic tune. Moves to Once in a While, a ballad, highly featuring Clifford Brown again. On the trumpet, just phenomenal playing. Quicksilver is a track they named after Horace Silver, and yeah, Horace is playing on that is profound, and it's a very, very upbeat tune. High octane on Quicksilver. It definitely fits the name of the song for sure. And yeah, the B-side, you go to the fantastic A Night in Tunisia, the great standard, the Dizzy Gillespie tune, and Art gives you a little bit of background on it. He was there when it was written, and yeah, Curly Russell kicks it off on the bass, just killing it, and just fantastic playing. And then it closes with Mare, another high octane affair. And there's some really great Lou Donaldson solos on this as well. Man, Volume 1, yeah, just really kicks things off. And then the liner notes, you get both track listings. So when I picked up Volume 2, it had both track listings on there. So on Volume 2, it starts with Wee Dot, and that's a J.J. Johnson tune, and again, another fiery solo from Clifford here. Great cut, and then moves to another ballad, If I Had You. Beautiful playing from Lou here. They threw in an alternate master of Quicksilver, so you get that. You get that cut again to end side 1. I think maybe just to kind of fill out the Volume 2 here, because side B, they close out the session with 2 fantastic Charlie Parker tunes, Now's the Time and Confirmation. But yeah, this is an amazing performance, and these records are easy to come by because they've been reissued a ton of times in multiple forms. Again, if you find the 10 inches, that's fantastic, but any of the 12-inch versions are fine. And yeah, I think my friend Krill and I, we were up in New York City for the U.S. Open in early September of '05. Of course, we swung by, one afternoon, we swung by Village Vanguard. Nothing was going on that particular trip. We'd been there before or went after. But Krill was big into jazz at the time, and I wasn't. Back then, that was 16 years ago. But his major deal was he wanted to go to Birdland. So we were at, we had been rained out. We were supposed to see Kornikova play. It was rained out. We're sitting inside ESPN Zone. This massive place with all these TVs. And he's like, man, let's go to Birdland. Screw this, let's go. Let's see what's going on over there. So we, it wasn't far away. So much so that I think we took one cab and then walked the rest. But it was pouring, and we were dressed to go to tennis. So I was like, oh, are they even gonna let us in? You know, this is probably gonna be a suit and tie affair. So we get there, they let us in, but they only let us sit at the bar because we weren't in, you know, suit and tie and all that. But where you sat at the bar, you're looking right to the side of the stage and to the drummer. And it was a trio, and the drummer, he was probably, black gentleman, he was in his early 80s. I think someone at the bar told me he was 81 years old. I can't remember who it was that we saw. Again, I wasn't into jazz, so I really wasn't, it wasn't like, I don't know, it's weird. I've been trying to research to see who played that night, because I know what date it was based on my U.S. Open tickets, but I can't find anything online. But was a great performance, and there was a lot of Asian folks that were sitting in the nice, at the small tables in front of the stage. It was a high-class affair, great playing. It was a really cool place, small, but sounded phenomenal in there. So that was a really cool experience to look back on, going to Birdland. I recommend it if you're in New York, if they do end up reopening. So yeah, Blue Note 1521, Art Blakey, Night of Birdland, Volumes 1 and Volumes 2 of the Blue Note 1500 series project. Hope everybody's well. Peace.